You don't want the truth because deep down in places you don't talk about at parties, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
All right, everyone, this is Tim of the Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Oh, we're getting closer and closer to the start of training camp. We're getting closer and closer to the start of preseason. I'm getting overly excited, but we have our first injury report. We have Daniel Bellinger going on the PUP list. I want to do a rookie profile on Darrian Beavers. And I want to talk about Adoree Jackson and how he didn't have the symbiotic relationship with Mike Vrabel, which is why he did not excel to his expectations with the Titans. First, let's start off with Daniel Bellinger. Really already? Rookies reported to training camp on Tuesday, and now we're already one tight end short. Daniel Bellinger was taken in the fourth round, of course, in the 2022 draft, which was just this year, has been placed on the PUP list. Why? Quad injury. The undefined quad injury. He's on the physically unable to perform list. He had been working out evidently with Daniel Jones and a couple of others teammates prior to the start of training camp, or I should say the start of rookies reporting to training camp. It's not clear exactly how the injury happened, and it's not clear how much time he's expected to miss. The Giants can take him off the PUP list at any point between now and start of the regular season in the regular season. But if he remains on the PUP list when week 1 rolls out, he'll be forced, of course, under the new CBA rules to sit out a minimum of 4 weeks. Luckily, we have some depth in the tight end room. Hell, and it may open up some opportunities for some of the other young guys that are on this roster. I think it's going to be a shock to some people. I think it's going to be, because you had a lot of people so hyped and excited about Daniel Bellinger. All hyped up, all praised, and all ready to rock and roll. Well, that's what happened. So we have to just wait and see. A little housekeeping before we get into the Darrian Beavers draft profile and the Adoree Jackson conversation. Those that missed the stream yesterday, screw you. Just kidding. August 5th, which is a Friday, we are giving away the ticket to the Coaches Club, and you get to hang out with me, subscriber James Williams, subscriber extraordinaire James Williams, OGR Sports, and we have a special guest. If you missed the stream, the Dominator, is flying all the way from the UK to New York, hanging out at Casa de Online Big Blue, and will be at the game with us. So make sure you tune in for the August 5th stream. A couple rules. You got to be 21 years of older. You have to live, hopefully, in the tri-state area because transportation is not involved. You cannot resell the ticket if you win it. So, but that's going to be August 5th, and it's for the August 21st game against the Cincinnati Bengals. We were sitting in the Coaches Club. You get to go out on the field, and you will be on the field with me when I do the 40-yard pass challenge at the end of the game. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting, and we're very excited to have the Dominator coming all the way over from the UK for this game. You look at the Giant linebacking core. I'm not saying what the talent we have is uninspiring. I'm not saying that because you have Kayvon Thibodeau, you got Azeez Ojulari. You got the old Buddy Blake coming back from an injury. You got a couple other rookies. You got Tate Crowder, who is an undersized middle linebacker trying to fill in. But the Giants with the 182nd pick in the 2022 draft selected Darrian Beavers. And I liked the pick. I liked the pick a lot. I do. Most people do not remember or do not know that Beavers actually began his career in college football at UConn. But then he transferred back, or went back home. I should say he didn't transfer back, but he transferred and went back home to Cincinnati. He was what they refer to as, he was a 3-sport athlete. And, I actually remember him at UConn because I watched a lot of Big East football back then. He actually led UConn with 4 sacks, and he was playing defensive end back in 2018. He had 23 tackles and 4.5 sacks, 2.5 pass breakups. So, it is interesting because when he came into the league, and like I said, when he transferred, he was just a guy that, it took him a little time to get him going, took a little time to get his feet under the ground. He took a big leap in reference to his game over in 2020. He was second team All-American Conference. 58 tackles, 7.5 for a loss, 2.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, and he had 4 pass breakups. So he was a guy that kind of moved forward. And in 2021, he took even a bigger leap with 102 tackles, 11.5 for a loss, 4.5 sacks, 1 interception, 2 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles, and 14 starts. And he was a finalist for the Butt Kiss Award. But, for the national, for the nation's top linebacker. And then, of course, he goes and falls down over to the Giants, 6th round, 3rd pick overall. 3rd pick in the 6th round. He's a guy, you know what? You got to look at it. You got to look at him from both sides of the ball. You have to look at it. He's a guy to me that's a plugger. He's big. He's physical. He's got some He-Man strength.
That phrase is trademark, not to use that tradition, Ricky Bobby.
And it should have been. No, that's not it. It should have been. It should have been. A very strong linebacker. Also, we have a whole plethora of new sound effects coming in for starting next week when we start doing our videos leading up to the training camp. But he's a big, strong, physical guy. He's a guy that can slip the block. He's a guy that can bowl you over. He's a guy that offers some power with some very well-timed strikes that can jar the ball carriers. He's just a guy that is to me, he's an effective, powerful inside linebacker in the NFL. That's what he is. At 6'4", 237 pounds. He reminds me of the linebackers of the days of the 86 team when our backups were Robbie Jones, Byron Hunt, Andy, the headhunter Hedden. He's a big, physical, strong guy in that middle. I think he is very disciplined within his assignments when he's sitting there in the middle. He knows how to effectively slip the block. And he's a guy that has, I believe, if you take a look at the way he played at Cincinnati, especially that last year, he has very, very, it's like he's got spidey senses. His awareness, his football awareness, his football IQ. It's like, boop, 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 boop. He can scan and determine what the incoming routes are. He can figure out exactly where the ball carrier is going to go. He is a guy that, like I said, in a 6th round player, I had him going in the 7th round, but that's neither here nor there. He's got a tough road to hoe ahead of him. He could be a core special teams player, a big special teams player. But my problem is, if you take a look at his athletic skills compared to those others in the NFL at his position, he's below average in reference to being an athlete. Sideline to sideline, I don't see the lateral quickness. I didn't see it in college. And the biggest issue with that is he's got to kind of stay ahead of the pile. He's got to stay ahead of the traffic, especially when he's in pursuit, because of the fact that if he doesn't, he's going to get, as our all phrase we like to use, he's going to get lost in the sauce. He tends to stick with his blocks a little too long. He just doesn't know at times when to disengage. And that's it. That is an issue. So he's got to find kind of more of a balance. The other issue is, this is going back to college. Maybe it's different in the pros, but he is kind of a non-factor. Watch the tape. If the play isn't going directly at him, he doesn't have fluidity to flow to the play, which is why I'm talking about the fact that he needs to disengage from his blockers quicker. He has an issue if the play is not in front of him. He's not a sideline to sideline guy. Does he have that step, that burst to finish tackles? Right now, I don't see it, but you never know. He is never going to be a man cover guy. He just doesn't have the athletic ability. He just doesn't have it. If you're looking at it, they're always giving you the definition of a 2-down linebacker. And that's what Darrian is. He is a 2-down linebacker. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I can't even be a 1-down linebacker in the NFL. So there's nothing wrong with that. But his skills need to move forward. I laugh because I always kind of compare him to Zach Bond. The big linebacker that some people a couple years ago wanted to take in the first round. He fell down to the 5th or 6th and has had a pedestrian career. I don't think he is going to be that. I don't think Darrian is going to have that type of career. I think he's going to be more on the field, like I said, as a 2-down linebacker and a special teams player. But like I said, I'm not expecting a tremendous amount from him And hopefully he proves me wrong. But I'm not expecting a tremendous amount from him during this first rookie season. If he is starting, we're going to have some problems. If he is a guy that is going to be on the field extensively, I think we got a problem at the linebacker position. But like I said, he's a good fill-in guy, good special teamers. I want to talk about Adoree Jackson because he mentioned something about his tenure in Tennessee that kind of bugged me, rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. He goes, I really got tested with adversity after my rookie season because everyone on the staff got fired. Well, that's Adoree, welcome to the NFL. Evidently, he didn't like Mike Vrabel. Because you know what? They weren't on the same page. I had to get used to him and what he wanted, the type of player he wanted, the style he wanted, as being my first time trying to get used to it. Well, I didn't gel. I didn't mesh right now. My play didn't work, and the way he was coaching didn't work for me. Well, Dory, boo freaking who? Maybe there was a reason you got released. Vrabel has led the Titans to 3 playoff appearances in the last 4 seasons, has a 43-27 record, and I feel so sorry for you that he did not be nice to you. Come on, Adoree. You left the team. You're gone from the Titans. You are 2 years removed now. Man up and not saying this crap. And I've said this before. Stuff like this bothers me when players talk. It bothers me that you are placing the blame on a head coach that has a very good winning record at 43-27, 3 playoff appearances, who the rest of the team seems to love, but you had a problem with it. That's when I start having problems with certain players, and I get worried. If you want a red flag to go up right now on Adoree Jackson, to me, that's an issue. Because what happens now, because I'm going to tell you right this, I guarantee you Wink Martindale is probably going to be the same type of coach as Mike Vrabel. And that worries me. The antennas go up, because when things go bad, Adoree is blaming somebody else. Take personal responsibility for your actions. Take personal responsibility for your play. Do not blame other people. One of the things I have to credit Daniel Jones with is the fact that he does stand before the man and tell you he did this wrong. It was all on him. I give Daniel Jones 1,000% credit for that. But Adoree, I'm not liking it. Didn't like the signing. I have a feeling with you being the focal point and being that CB1, there's going to be some issues. Don't forget, we're going to have a lot of streams, a lot of shows coming up starting next week. Got a whole new sound effect board for the season. We'll be doing probably a stream after once training camps get starting. And we'll also have the big August 5th stream giving away that ticket. So hanging out with us on the Coaches Club. And again, this is Tim with the Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk entertainment. And as always, if you could if you subscribe, if you ring that bell, I think it means that'd be awesome.